of the times we do a static caching. When I say static caching, I'm talking about the static files like images, videos, but this is also possible that you can do the dynamic caching. So you might be wondering why we are doing dynamic caching. Dynamic caching, do you know the meaning of dynamic caching? Dynamic caching means everything you are taking from the original servers. Like in my case, if I explain you with the example, let's say this is a user. This is a user, and this user is getting a request or hitting a server which is available. This is my EC2. Let's imagine this is my EC2 server. And what I am doing is dynamic caching. In the case of dynamic caching, I have edge location. This is my edge location. You can say it's EL1, edge location 1. So reading the data from EC2, and why I need a dynamic caching in that case. The benefit of dynamic caching is your request is going to regional server or edge server, and after going to edge server it is going to EC2. So ultimately, once your request is traveling between a edge location and availability zone server, they are using AWS network in between. So ultimately, you're making your request performance wise better because AWS resources is better than you, right? So once user is hitting that edge location, that request will go to EC2 using AWS network, which is speedy, which is giving you more speed as compared to your network. That's the first advantage. Second advantage is more security between the network. If your request is traveling to this location to this, more risk because you are traveling over the internet, right? And you are here, you are traveling internals to AWS, and I'm sure you cannot beat the security of AWS. That's why I'm saying your security is less if you're just hitting the direct, but if you are hitting the through the edge locations, you are increasing the security also. So that means dynamic content refer to web content that changes based on user behavior, preferences, interest, but you can use it. You can use CloudFront for this to make it more faster and secure. So you can read this about line. I've explained this thing to you. With CloudFront, user and user connections are terminated and CloudFront edge locations closer to them, which help you to reduce the overall round trip required to establish a connection. And rest of the features, because like I said, AWS network is better than you. They're using persistent TCP connections, optimized data transfer cost, multiple things are available which is not possible for your network. So overall performance would be good in that case. So I will be taking this example. I would be creating two EC2 instances, and I will be copying the content file I would be creating, and that file I will be shared on the GitHub also. Then I would be creating one application load balancer. Then I would be creating a target groups with EC2 instances, and then I would be creating a CloudFront distribution, and then configure your origin. Then 7th step would be configure default cache behavior and set it to request to all. When I say request to all, this means I'm saying AWS, every time request is coming to CloudFront, move that request to origin server. So that ensures you that every request will be served from the original server, not from the cache server. Then save the distribution and test it. I will be doing the same steps in the lab also. Let's go to lab. I'm going in EC2, creating EC2 instances. I would be creating two Windows instances. Launch instance, launch. I'm saying I need two instances and web servers. I'm taking Windows 1, instance type 4G, create new key pair. I'm saying Windows server test, create new key pair. Network setting, I want to work with default VPC, allow HTTP traffic, 30 GB of storage is fine for me. And also I'm saying let's install the IAS on that. For IAS, I'm using one ready-made command. I will be sharing this command also to you over the GitHub. Let's go to trainings, assignments. Here I have the command. This one, this user data command I want to use. And what this command will do, this command will install IAS server on both the servers, IAS web server, and go to advanced details. Say I want to use user data with PowerShell, install Windows, this, and by default it will store, and new item will be created with the name of index.html where hello world page is written. So I will be replacing this hello world page, but let's create this file as of now. Click on launch. It would be taking 3 or 4 minutes of time. So let's stay on hold for next 3 or 4 minutes. The time it is taking time, let me explain you what I have done in this. I'm going to upload one email, one HTML file to both of the servers, and that file is, let me show you that file. This is the file index.html. In this file, what I am doing is I am using both two input types, right? In both input types, I'm saying in current date 1, I'm printing the value instance 1 testing, and in second, which is knowing as current date, I'm just adding or you can just replace it with your ID. I'm just taking it a random names, current date and current date 1. So I'm saying in current date, I want to print a value using JavaScript. This is JavaScript, guys. If you're not able to take it, digest it, or not able to understand it, so what I am doing is I'm just printing a value in current date. I'm saying current dot value is equal to date. Date is coming from this code. So it is taking a value full year, get month, get date, and get time, and printing the values. Why I'm doing this? So that I can test it. What I will be doing is copying this file to web server 1, and I will be writing instance 1 in that. Same file I will be copying to web server 2, and I will be replacing 1 with 2. That's the difference I will take it, so that I can recognize if, because I'm going to attach these EC2 instances with load balancer, right? If I'm attaching the same thing, same response to load balancer from two EC2 instances, I will not be able to figure it out, right? From this instance, this is being served. So I would be referring this file. So I will be uploading this file to GitHub also, so that you can refer. Let's see where is my instances. It is being configured or not. Yeah, both the instances are available. Let me take a remote by one by one. Just say this is my web server 1 and this is my web server 2. Now I'm going on web server 1, and Go to get Windows password. I am retrieving a password first. I have file available, Windows Server Test. Click on decrypt. Just click on copy the password. Save your password somewhere. I'm keeping it over the notepad. And in the similar way, you can go to second instance and retrieve a password of it using the same file. Just copy this. I'm sorry, and decrypt and copy this. Okay. Now take a remote of first server, click on it and connect, download RDP file and go to this server and copy this password, copy. Click on web server 1, click on connect and connect this server. Click on yes. In the similar way, you can go on the second server till the time that server is being loaded with the default configuration. Let me connect to second server also. Download remote for web 2 also. Let me take a password, copy and paste it. Yes. Both servers are running, I think. Yeah. Now let me do one thing. Go to inetpub path, which is the default path of IAS, and replace the file. Like I said, I have created one file. Let me go to that server, click on this PC, C drive, inetpub, www root. This is index.html, but I want to replace it with my code, which is available here. Copy this and replace, paste. Yeah. Now what is written in that? Just let me open once, choose another app, which is more apps, notepad. Yeah, instance 1 and printing the time. That's it. In the similar way, go to second server, go to this path, inetpub, this PC, inetpub, www root, index and replace. Now I can see both of the data. Let me just close this extra windows. Now go to my EC2 instances and check one by one. Both are working fine. Take a public IP of first machine and open. It is saying instance 1. In the same way, go to web server 2 and copy an address of public server web 2. This is also coming as instance 1 because I have not changed the content in 2. Go and change it. More apps, notepad, and here I'm saying it is 2. Save it. Now refresh. It is coming from 2 and this one is coming from first. Perfect. Now I would be creating my load balancer. Go to EC2 instances, go to load balancers. I'm going to work with application load balancer. Create a load balancer, application load balancer. What name I want to give? ALB Cloud Front. ALB Cloud Front. You can give any name. Whether you're looking for internet facing or internal. I'm saying internet facing. IP address type is IPv version 4 I'm looking for. Network mapping I'm looking for default VPC, and under the default VPC I want to take at least 2 availability zone for the higher availability purpose. Or let's choose all of them out of 3. Yeah. Security group. I want to create a new security group, or you want to use a default one. In my case, I'm saying let's create a new security group where port 80 as an inbound will be allowed. I'm saying ALB Cloudfront SG security group 80 is allowed, and add rule. I'm saying custom TCP or HTTP 80 is allowed from everywhere. That's it. Create a security group. The security group name already exists. Give it some different name. I'm giving cloud ALB Cloudfront SG1. Create a security group. Come back to your load balancer screen and refresh this. Now you can see that security group should be a label. ALB Cloudfront SG1, it is visible, and let me delete default one. Perfect. Listeners are routing are same. HTTP 80 is fine, but I want to create my target group. Target group means I want to add my machines in that target group. So I'm saying let's create a target group, and I will be adding my both EC2 instances in that. So I will be using instance here. Target group name, I'm saying ALB Cloud Front Target Group. VPC is fine, HTTP1 is fine. Health check, how you want to do a health check of your EC2 instances. So I'm saying using HTTP and index.html. If index.html is giving a right response to you, that AWS load balancer will treat it as a healthy instance. If that file is not being served, AWS will treat that instance as unhealthy. So I'm saying that's fine, index.html, and next. Here it is asking you which available instance you want to add in as a target. So I'm saying let's add both the instances and click on include as pending below. Once you click on it, both instances are being added. And now click on create target group. So your target group is being added. Now go back to your screen, load balancer, from where you are coming up. Like this is the screen, refresh it. What was the name I have given? ALB Cloudfront target group. Add this target group here. That's it. Rest of the setting will remain same, and say create load balancer. View load balancer. Now you have to wait for a couple of seconds because as of now the status is provisioning. And if you come to target groups, in target groups you will see instances still in register mode. Yeah, health status is initial. The target registration is in progress as of now. Let's wait for some time because healthy instance are 0. Total target is 2, but healthy is 0 as of now. Unhealthy is also 0 because it's in target registration process as of now. Let's refresh again. Yeah, still it is 0. Let's wait for some time. Till the time I'm just closing my couple of windows which are not in use. Let me refresh again. Yeah, now instances are healthy. And let me test this now. Go to your load balancers, take a URL of your load balancer, click on it, go to description, take a URL. This is my URL, and now hit it. In the first time, it is giving me instance 2. The response is coming from instance 2. Let me hit it again. Still from 2, but this time it is coming from 1. And let me hit it again. This time it is coming from 2. Now I want to apply, now I want to add CloudFront distribution on this part, so that this part, this portion, what I'm returning as a current date and time, that can be cached over the CloudFront. So for that, what I will be doing is go to CloudFront and create a new distribution, and origin domain I would be choosing is this one, Elastic Load Balancer, ALB CloudFront. Choose this origin path. You have to follow the steps. Now if you see what are the steps available, go to the AWS console, that we have done. Amazon EC2 instances we have done, application load balancer done, create target group done. Now we are on the 5th steps, create a CloudFront distribution. And here, while creating it, you have to choose domain as your ALB one. So let me choose it again, ALB CloudFront, HTTP only. This is fine. Origin path, no path. Add header, you can skip it. Caching behavior, complex objects automatically, yes. Viewer protocol policy, I want to change it, redirect HTTP to HTTP, yes. Allowed HTTP methods, get head, because this is fine for my use case. Restrict viewer access, no. Cache keys, here you have to change one thing, and the steps is mentioned here. Configure your origin, configure default cache behavior as legacy. So you need to click on configure legacy caching, legacy cache settings. Go on headers. After going on header, you need to click on all. Once you do this step, AWS will also warn you, you are choosing to forward all headers to the origin, which means CloudFront doesn't cache objects for this cache behavior. It sends every request to the origin, and we are fine with it. This is my purpose. I'm doing it purposely, right? So I'm fine with it. Now you will see the steps of it. How many steps we have done is, this steps also done. Now last step would be configure set base. This also done. We have done this step, right? Now nothing to be changed, and just click on save. I'm not going to change query strings. I'm okay with the response header policy also. Settings, I want to deploy this change to every edge locations. In your case, if you are deploying your change for the North America and Europe, you can choose this option. Or if you are good suitable with these locations, then you can choose this option, but I'm okay with all edge locations. And click on create distribution. Now I told you that in the existing previous sessions that whenever you are deploying a change on CloudFront, that change will be reflected to every edge location, and that takes time. Actually, it is a deployment kind of thing. So AWS is deploying your change to every edge location. It will take between 5 to 10 minutes of time. Now you can see this is also enabled, right? Time is updated. Which one is this? Let me see. ALB1, right? Go to distributions. You will find a URL here. Go to this URL, copy this and hit it. It is coming from instance 1, but let me check the time also. Just go to developer tools and check the time. For 2, I can check now. Instance 1 is already being cached. Now let's see for 2. This coming from instance 1. and the time is 129 millisecond. Now hit it again. This time it is taking 91 millisecond, and it is coming from instance 2. Now if I hit it again, request time would be decreased gradually. Now it is coming to 63. Not every time it would be giving you same response time, so that would be keep on changing on the network speed, but definitely it is better than first one. So that's how you can configure your application load balancer with CloudFront.